Hey guys, this is Eve with Scrapbooking with Me. I have decided, since I printed way too many of these papers here, and some of them my printer messed up, so I had to reprint. That's why I've got so many, but I'm not going to throw them away because they've just got a little line down through them, and I can use parts of them, and I could even put something over that line, you know, like lace or whatever. But I have printed a ton, so I thought we would make some ephemera out of these because a lot of times these colors are going to go with what we've got going on anyway. So that's what we're going to do. Now some of them are printed on the back, some of them are not. And then I've got the ephemera here too for this kit. So I thought we could cut some of that out and use it. And this is the Vintage Sewing Machine and Flowers kit. I do believe that's the name of it. So we're just going to get going. I have also pulled out lots of different sizes of envelopes. So what I'm going to do is decorate up some envelopes and where we can be able to use them in our journals. You can use them as pockets, you can use them as wraparounds. There is just a ton of things you can do with envelopes, and I've got a whole series on using envelopes in your journals, so I will try to remember to link that below. Most of these envelopes I get from you guys. A few of these I have purchased, but most of them are just junk mail envelopes. So I think, let's see, and I'm flying by the seat of my pants again because I don't have a plan. I just thought we would get going on this. I am going to cut this one right down the middle, hopefully. Somewhere close to the middle anyway. That's pretty crooked, so let's do it with our trimmer. Oh, I don't like to drag out my trimmer. I love cutting with my scissors, but sometimes I don't get things exactly straight. There we go. So we have two pieces now, just from one envelope. We're just going to do a simple one first, and we're just going to make some pockets out of these. Of course, my glue is going to be stubborn because I was fussing at it yesterday about coming out real quick, and now today it's going to balk on me. You are going to work, glue. Okay, I just glued those down. Okay, I think what we're going to do now is just cover them, and we can glue this part down, and they will be a nice pocket for our journal. So let's just grab some paper. I really like this paper. I may just use it. We'll see. Let me flip through real quick. I think, I might use this one. It's got this big flower on it. I will link this kit below if you want to check it out. It's a big kit, but, you know, I've got it printed 2 or 3 times here. These are the background pages here. So hang around because I do have 2 brand new kits to show you. It's going to be one that some of you guys have been asking for a while, and then the other is going to be a surprise. So what are you guys up to today? It's very, very pretty and warm here, but we've got storms coming. This time of year, if it gets warm and humid, next thing we've got tornadoes. So it's just one of those things that we have to deal with around here in the South. And this makes a nice pocket that's just the right thickness. You don't have to add anything to. Even if you print on regular printer paper, this works well. Now we don't have to cover the back unless you're not going to glue it down to the page. I'm going to glue this one down to the page, so I'm not going to cover the back. And guess what I found? I found my punch under all my papers. And we did get more of these in today, I do believe. I think. I haven't looked but I saw Brandon putting some punches up, and I'm pretty sure they're these. So we got more of these in. They sell out really fast when we get them in, so if you want one, you better go grab it in a hurry. Okay, now let's use maybe some of the ephemera that we've got here to decorate this up a little bit. We put a cute little stamp on there. Let's try that. Get my crunchy scissors. Well, mine don't crunch a lot unless you try to cut something that's really thick. Now, I'm probably not going to put like a ton on these because I want to be able to, you know, adjust them depending on what journal I'm putting them in. I'm probably going to put them in the journal that's with this collection, that's made with this collection, but I've also got some other journals that's got pink in them, pink and teal, so I may use some of them in that. Because hopefully we're going to get quite a few made. I might put a little label up here. What do you guys think? Just one little label? One little long label. Got one here that's got a little bit of green in it, and that's got a little green in it, so that might work. Okay, so I've been working, what, 5 minutes? If that long? And I've already got so much sticky on my fingers that the little labels will not turn loose. Well, I like that, but I think I might like it better down here. Something else up there. It loads this side too much if I put it there. Makes it side heavy. This says 1919. That was the year that my daddy was born, 1919. So let's put a number up here. Since we've got a label there, we'll put a number at the top. And I think I might just use a black one. I have had so many sweet comments from you guys on videos, and I've not caught up yet, but I've read a lot of them about, you know, looking forward to my videos, and it's helping you through the days and things like that. I mean, you guys don't know what that means to me. I mean, I'm just a nobody. I'm just a no country girl that decided one day that I thought I might could do a video and help some people learn some things, and I put one up, and I put the next one up, and the next one, and for probably 3 years nothing really happened. I didn't get that many views, and then all of a sudden it kind of took off. So, but I thank you very much. That was my point of all of it. I thank you. I like that. So let's do one of these. I'm going to flip-flop around probably a little bit. We'll do one of these, and then I'm going to show you some different ways to use some of these larger envelopes. So this is just some that we put in those starter kits that we gave out, well, that we sold probably a month ago. The little journal starter kits. We put some of these envelopes in them. They're really neat. They're just about the right size. You can glue this side down, do a side tuck, and then you can just pull that little piece up. And what I do is I put a piece of paper on this so that I'll have that open to put something behind there. Or you could cut it off if you don't want to deal with it. I usually just put a little piece of paper on it and fold it back like this. And that works for me, but you can do it any way that you want. Love this piece right here. Come out. What are you glued? No, you're not glued. Come out. Can't get this piece to turn loose. This is so pretty. I love that lace on there, which I like this whole piece, but, well, you know, I like the whole kit. And no, I'm not a pink girl. I don't know what's wrong with me lately. I love teal. That's my color. But, you know, you can only do so many kits that have teal in them. And as a matter of fact, there's not a lot of free images out there that you can get to add on your pages that are teal. And when you can change the colors in Photoshop, but when you change the colors, sometimes you don't get the correct color that you're looking for. You get a color, but sometimes it's an odd color. So I don't always try to change the colors. Every now and then I will, but not always. I love my pencil. Thank you, my friend. It writes so good. And my friend sent me a new chair. So as soon as my son-in-law gets it put together, which I could put it together probably, but right now I'm working on taxes and that's more important because I've got to get them turned in this week. So I'm dependent on my son-in-law to do it for me. And I will get that done soon. Let's see. I am going to use this little ink pad, I think. Let's see. Let's just see what I can do with that without putting it on a dauber. I think I'm going to use some of this color ink. Well, I make a mess. That's what I do without a dauber. So I need to get a dauber. A dauber. It's not a big mess, but it's not as neat as I would have liked for it to be in. So I'll grab a dauber. And yes, this was printed on the back, but that's okay. I can print it again if I need to. It doesn't matter to me when I want to use it. It doesn't matter to me if it's printed on the back or not. I just want to use it. Now let's see if this old girl can get it straight-ish. Oh, that's straight-ish. I like that. Okay, now I want to put something on here. And I was just looking at this little postage stamp looking thing right here. No, that blends a little bit too much. We need a darker one, don't we? I like that one. That one will work. I got a pokey tool somewhere. Well, I guess I'll use my old pokey tool. This one was my favorite pokey tool, but it was discontinued, and I can't find anybody who makes this one anymore. I could have some made in China, but I would have to order a whole pallet, and the whole pallet would cost me like $500 just to get it imported. So I really can't afford that. But yeah, that was my favorite pokey tool. And on the other end, which mine's nasty right now, but on the other end it had this little scoop thing that you could get under things with. Now this one I think I will clip on the page. So I'm going to cover this side too. Let me get a dauber so I can do some inking. It's one of my favorite Tim Holtz colors, but I don't know if it's going to show up on here. It might. I think that other one's going to show up better. This shows up really good on white, but not so much on this. This little memento thing we got in the E-Club kits probably last year or year before. So there's always things in the E-Club kits that are staples, things that you can keep and use and use and use a lot of times, because I've still got things that I'm using from E-Club kits from 3 years ago. So it's not always something that you just use up. Okay. Now, I like that. And I know I put brown on that side, but it's okay. It's all right. Now let's cover this side with something. We could just go with the flowers on this side and use the same piece of paper. It's going to look different because that other one's just got the lace there. But you need to measure it, Edith. You have to know where to cut. Mr. Aaron messaged me last night. He was here yesterday, but he wasn't coming today because he was working at home. So he messaged me last night and he said, Nene, would you do me a big favor? And I said, well, I will if I can. What is it, bud? He said, I need you to empty all of the garbages, all upstairs, all downstairs, bring them all down and put them in the big green so that my daddy can take it to the road, so that your garbage will be to the road. I said, okay, I think I can do that for you. And he said, I forgot today when I was over there to do it. So I told Mama I was going to call you and ask you, would you do me a big favor and do it? I said, oh, okay, Nene will do it. So I told Brandon before he left a little while ago, I said, don't let me forget, I got to get all the garbage out for you. And he said, oh. And I said, yeah, your son asked me for a big favor, so I decided I better deliver. He said, oh, he said, that boy, he never forgets anything. But he did forget the garbage yesterday, which normally he takes it down on Mondays. My garbage doesn't run till Wednesday mornings, but he likes to get it out of the house and get it down there. And so I let him. It's not a big deal for it sitting on the road a couple of days. My neighbors, just they could care less. They know me. All right, I got a little glob of glue right there. Just gonna wipe it off. Make sure I don't have any down here. So there's our little piece. Now I'm gonna put, let's see, I'm gonna put a little scrap of paper on the outside and a little scrap on the inside, just to make sure that that's covered when it folds down. And it is going to be just a little scrap too. Probably not even going to be as big, but it'll be okay. And Miss Brookie come today. She didn't have long to tarry though. She had just finished her writing lessons and she just come by for a minute. Alicia said she wanted to come see Nene, so I brought her. I said, well, thank you. You act like it's a chore. She said, I didn't mean it like that, Mama. So Brooklyn always has to come over, and when she hugs me, she hugs and hugs and hugs and hugs. She don't just give me a little hug. She gives me a big old hug. That's kind of like big bear hugs. I told Alicia, I said, if you hugged like this, I wouldn't mind you coming over either. She said, Mother, you just won't do. All right, I'm just going to glue that down and then I'm going to trim it. I think that's going to be my best bit. So, is everybody's grass starting to grow? Mine is. Oh, that's one thing that I don't look. I love spring and summer. Love it. But since my hubby's gone, I just dread the mowing season because, you know, I mean, I can do it. I can ride the mower and do it, but my kids pitch such a fit when I do, because I usually, you know, I have a back that doesn't like anything that jars, and I'm usually down in my back for 2 or 3 days afterwards, so they pitch a fit when I get out there and do it, because my neighbors tell them. My neighbors happen to be one of Alicia's best friends, so when they see me out on the mower, they call Alicia and tell Alicia. Yeah, they're tattletales. So then I have to deal with my kiddos. So, but if I don't do it, then I have to hire somebody to do it, which I can't afford, or I have to wait on my kids to be back in town to do it, which I hate to do that because, you know, they're traveling all the time and working, and so it's a headache. And if you've got your sweet hubbies, if you still have your sweet hubbies, just cherish them, is all I can say. I didn't realize how much, well, I won't say I didn't. I did realize how, these come from my sweet friend yesterday. Thank you, my friend. I did realize that my husband did a lot, even though he didn't feel like doing it, because he was a worker, even though most of the time he did not feel like getting out and doing anything. Now, he couldn't get out when it got really hot. We would still have to try to get somebody to do it, but he enjoyed getting out when he could. So, but you really, really miss them when they are not there to help you out. I told Melina, I was talking to her, I guess it was Sunday afternoon. She was trying to get me to go with them this past week to National Quartet, not National Quartet Convention, the Southern Gospel Weekend. And I said, baby, I just can't. And she said, why, Mama? I said, because I have got to get my taxes ready for the accountant by this next week. If I don't, she's not going to be able to get them done in time to get them to the IRS by the 15th. I said, so I've got to stay here and work on taxes. I said, believe me, I never ever realized how much your dad helped me on taxes. Now, he wouldn't do any of the book work part of it, but now he'd jump in there and organize for me. He'd put all the receipts together and he'd get everything organized. He enjoyed doing that. But when you have to do it all by yourself, it takes me about a week from start to finish, and that's working on it, 3 or 4 hours a day, because that's about all I have time to work on it. But it takes me a while to get them going, to get them ready to go to her. Okay, so this one, since it's already open at the top, I'm going to use it for a wraparound. Now, I'm going to cover this side because I don't want to cover that side, because a lot of times it's harder to glue on the window. I'm not going to use the window. And you could definitely use the window. I'm not on this one. I am just going to put a little glue on here where it needs glue. Yeah, now you want to come out, don't you? You thought I wasn't going to use you anymore, Artie. Changed over to my glue stick, and you decided you better start working. I know, yes, I'm talking to the glue stick. I mean, to the art glitter glue. Sometimes we do things like that. Now, this one is from a different collection. This one is called Shabby Chic. Shabby Chic something. I'll link it below. And this does have some pretty prominent lines in it, but I think I'm going to be able to disguise it. So I'm going to use it. I can't bring myself to throw these away. And yes, if it goes in your journal, it will be nice, believe me. I'll make sure that those lines don't show. Or if they do, you'll never notice them. Like I said, I can't bring myself to throw these kind of away. I feel like I can use it for something, if nothing else, in my journal. Now, I'm going to put that from one end to the other, and I may even leave a little bit to wrap around on each end, because I may want to wrap it around the ends of the envelope. And I don't think it'll be too thick if I put it all the way across and then fold it. I'm going to try it anyway. Now, you can do this envelope 2 different ways. You can leave this open so that you'll have a pocket behind and a pocket here. I'm not going to. I'm going to close mine, but you can if you want. I have done that before. I have even cut this part down and made it stacked pockets, which we could do one of those if we want to. I should always put these on from the back. That way I'll get them a little bit straighter. I think I'm going to wrap the top a little bit too. Just going to cut the corners. And we'll try to do some different ones, so hang with me. Don't go anywhere. I still didn't get that perfectly straight, did I? Oh, I meant to tell you guys, and you probably seen it yesterday on the video. I have started adding one little ad in the middle of my videos. I know an ad is distracting to you, and I know you may not care for it, but it helps me out. And right now, with sales being down and my YouTube, I spent 2 months where I couldn't even do a YouTube video. With that being down too, I'm just trying to do something to pique my income back up a little bit. So hopefully it's not too bad distracting. I just put one, so, and you can skip it after about 5 seconds, so I'm not putting like a ton in there like some people do, but I thought one might not hurt, but it will help me a little bit. Tell you, once things get kind of down, it's hard to get them back up. And I appreciate all of you who have been just constantly binge watching my videos and letting me know that you have. I appreciate that, because that does help a ton. Believe me, it helps. Okay. So, let's see if I can do something here. I'm going to experiment just a minute. Like I said, if this doesn't turn out, it'll go in my journal and nobody else's, so not going to be a biggie. Now, those little lines, I don't know if you can tell or not, but they're now pink instead of white. They almost look like they were meant to be there. But we'll still put more embellishments on them. And yes, I know why my printer did it. And I have corrected it. At that time, I didn't have it corrected. I am going to cut a little, well, why don't you cut both of them at the same time, Edith? There we go. And then let's use some of this. And they don't have to be the same size. I'm folding mine the same, but they don't have to be, because they're going to be on opposite pages. So you can literally make them whatever size you want. Now, I don't think these need a lot, except maybe a little label or a big label, medium-sized label. Now, I watch a video sometimes. Every now and then I watch it. Usually I get aggravated and I stop watching it. It's a really good channel, but they have about 15 videos in a 45-minute, 15 ads in a 45-minute video. I can't do that. I get too distracted, and when they go to another ad, I forget what they did before they went off, and so that's not me. I would never put that many. Now, I would put a couple more if nobody complained, but I would never put that many. Okay, I'm just going to put that right there. This is one of Tim Holtz's number labels. Love these. I just bought another pack from myself because I had just about run out of any of the colored ones. Now, I like that. And yes, you can still see a little bit of the lines there, but I think I'm going to be able to fix them once I may put a few more things on here. It's not going to bother me for my journal, I know that. Let's do one of these. We very seldom do a big envelope like this. So let's figure out what we want to do exactly. Let me see how wide this one is. Don't want it too wide. This is 5 inches. That'd be about right. Let's do this. Let's glue this together. Now we're just gluing the envelope. We're not gluing on down. We don't want that closed up. And then I'm going to fold it up like this. And I'm probably folding 1.5 inches, looks like, maybe 2 inches. Okay. Folding 2 inches up. And then this is going to be a little pocket, and this will be a little pocket. Now you can use either side. It doesn't matter, because we're going to cover it with paper anyway. Let's use this one that has the thread down here. Okay, and I'm going to leave a little bit of the envelope showing, and you don't have to go all the way down because this is going to fold up. So I want my thread to show. So I think I'm going to stop it right there. I don't want it to be too short. And then we'll cut it right there. Okay. And let's ink it. I don't know why I'm not leaving this one open. I leave all my inks open while I'm working. And I'm going to go ahead and ink around the envelope. Look how pretty that is when it's inked with this. Well, I should punch my, well, I'll have to punch my pool in a minute, and then I'll ink again. And this color is called, if you want to know, and we don't have Memento ink, but this is called Rhubarb Stalk, which I don't know if that looks like a rhubarb stalk or not, but it's pretty. Okay. Yeah, let's go right there. I know that the rhubarb stalks are kind of a reddish color, so it may be. Oh yeah, just right. I like you that. Now I'm going to cut this open, so I shouldn't have, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it with my trimmer. I shouldn't have put ink on that in the beginning because I'm going to cut it open and then I'm going to have to ink it again, but it's okay. It's just ink, and that little ink pad has been going forever. And then we're going to cut this one open. There we go. Now just cut the smallest slivers off. Slivers off. Let's see, I'm going to cover this one before I punch it. That would be the smart thing to do. Oh yeah, I don't mind that. Is that going to be long enough? Let's do this. Then I know it will be long enough because I'm going to fold that top over anyway, I think. I'm very indecisive today, and that's not like me. Normally I just put it down. I don't know why I'm doing that. I mean, it's not like I throw stuff down. I try to make it look good, but, you know, I still am usually not very indecisive. I usually kind of look at things, and if they match, then I go with them. Okay, now let's punch this and hope we can get it about the same as the other one. Yep. I almost grabbed the wrong ink. I like that. And then we're just going to put a little bit of glue right up the side. A little bit, I said. Don't call the insane asylum just because I'm talking to my glue stick, or my glue, or glitter glue. I will be okay, I promise. You know, when you live by yourself, you've always got to find something to talk to. I talk to the TV too every now and then. I'll fuss at it because it's not acting right. I forgot to glue that down, so I'm just going to put a little glue in there and glue it shut. And I should have come down just a tiny bit lower right there with this, and I didn't. So we're going to do this. We're going to ink right there. There we go. These are scissors that my kids played with when, sticking too, when they were little. They're old. As I say about myself, they're old as dirt. Oh yeah, I like that. But then I want a little something here, and I think I might want a little flower there. Let me put this down. Now some things I kind of overly decorate. I put a lot of, I think I'm going to put this on this side. I put a lot of stamps and a lot of different embellishments on there. You can do that, but I think with these, the simplicity of them, since they've got a lot going on up here, looks good. I mean, that's my opinion. Now, all of these flowers and things were sent to me by friends. This is not something that I had purchased all by myself. Some of them I have purchased, but not many, even though it is pink on pink. This is a different shade. It's darker. Now, if I went with, that, I like that one. I'm going to go with that one. I'm not even going to look at the others. I'm going to go with it. I like it. And it's almost the shade of the inside of that flower up there. Oh yeah, I like that. Now, what is the only thing that you see that it needs? I see that it might need a little bit of washi across that flower to hold it down. And this stitched washi, I have no clue where I got this. But I don't want the white, so I'm going to ink it up a little bit. And yes, you can ink washi up if you want. And I know the inked part blends in with the back, but I just wanted the writing to show anyway. Not the writing, the sewing, the stitching. All right, we're going to go with that. And I think that's all I'm going to do to that one. This one, it's going to turn into a belly band because these make wonderful belly bands. Now, could make what I've made here, and it's just a flip out, but I think I'm going to make a belly band out of this one, and I'm not going to utilize the window just because it takes me a while to cover around those windows. I think they're beautiful, but it takes me a while to do it. So I'm not going to do it on this one, but you could, I know, that's why those are not coming out. Got a clip on them. You could definitely do it on yours. And I need to see what size this is. It's 8.5, so we're going to leave it. I may have to trim the ends off, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to glue these insides down. You don't have to. Well, you do have to if you're making this, but you don't have to have these insides on there. You can have a piece of envelope that's just the right size. This one I had actually started to make something else, and I don't remember what it was, so it's turning into this now. Yeah, I think belly bands that have the window on there are beautiful, but it just takes me forever. And on a video, it's pretty distracting when it takes you a long time because people are like, well, taking her forever to cover that thing. I do them on my own, but a lot of times I don't do them on videos. Not that much. I have before. In the envelope series, I think I did. Pretty sure I did. And I'm going to try to put it where I can get the butterfly on there. This is a different collection as well, but I think they work together. Look how crooked. I think I can get the butterfly if I go right there. Yes, I did. And I'm just going to fold this paper around a little bit. Make old Artie mad. He'll be squirting glue all over my desk because he'll be so mad. Okay, be honest. Tell me how many of you talk to your craft products. How many? Come on, be honest. Raise your hand. If you don't, you should. Pretty good therapy. You can fuss at these products all day long and they can't talk back to you. Of course, it doesn't help anything, but it might help your feelings. I mean, after all, I'm talking to a camera. I know you guys are out there somewhere, but I'm literally talking to a camera. Okay, I want one of these on, and I'd like to have it right there. But I'm going to have to cut part of it off, so I'll just have to cut it in half. We've already got bees and wasps and bumblebees and everything out. There we go. I think I'm just going to wrap that around. If I cut it off, I may not use it and I may end up losing it somewhere. I'm just going to wrap it around. It'll be fine. I've got more. That's cute. I like that. I want a little number up here. And I have a whole bunch cut out down here that my friends cut for me. I'm just trying to use up what is in my little binder there first. Trying to use those up so that I can put these other ones in there. So there is a belly band. Now I've got one more to show you, and then I will let you guys be for today. I won't bug you anymore. What did I do with that other envelope? Let's see if I remember how to do this one. Which is, it's not a hard one. It's just, I have to remember exactly how to cut it. Okay, I'm cutting it at 6. I'm going to save that. It makes a nice little pocket. Make your cut a little bit big on the sides so that you have enough to fold down. Okay. I may cut that part of the video out. That way, okay, we're going to fold this part down. That looks somewhat straight, but once you get the other covered, you're going to be able to tell if it's straight or not. Okay? So I'm going to use this bottom portion right here. And I think I'm just going to tear it right here. There we go. Okay, so this part's going to glue down there. Let's do that. Don't put any glue on the inside. Not even on that edge. Okay. Now, when you fold this around, it's going to close that edge up. I'm going to go ahead and trim just a little bit back there. A little bit back there. Whew, I almost didn't leave enough at the bottom. Okay, we've got that, and now we're going to fold this down. Okay, now we want to cover this part. Don't worry about the back because that back is going to be glued down. We want to cover this part. Now I'm going to go in with my paper let me trim this off, this white part. I'm going to go in with my paper just like this, and I'll glue it down like that. I don't mind that the lines are running different. That doesn't bother me. It's easier to cover like this than it is to try to cut it the exact size that you need. Just get you some glue in there. Just don't glue further down than what your paper's going to slide in there. Slide your paper all the way as far as it'll slide at an angle like that. Okay, and then flip it over. Trim this off. A little piece right there that was torn. Let's see if I can glue that down. There we go. So there is that part covered. Now we're going to do basically the same thing here, except we're going to go like, let's see, let me find another piece that's not quite. Okay, let's go with this piece. So what you're going to do is flip that piece upside down, slide it in there like that, put your glue here, oops, my thing stuck to that, didn't it? Put it there, and then flip that up and glue it down. Then trim it off. And it's going to have some writing at an angle, but that's okay with me. Alright, now you can fold this back down. And see, you've got that piece covered. And I go ahead and put my, oops, I need to ink that. It's been a while since I've made one of these, so that's why I'm kind of stammering around here. Okay. And glue that down like that. Now you've got a nice pocket in there. You can glue all that down, and then you can decorate this all that you want. Put a little label up here, and it's very, very cute. So that's that one. All right, this video is probably an hour long, so I'm gonna let you guys go. We've got 6 things made. No, yeah, 6 things made, so that's pretty good. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.